Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. We are live again today on Wednesday at 1:31 p.m. 1:32 now in the Empath Unicorn Academy Facebook group. And today's topic is, interestingly enough, it wasn't actually planned to be I didn't plan for this topic to fall on today's date. And I only realized that yesterday when it was February 1st yesterday, and today it's February 2nd. So it's 02022022. So it's all twos and three zeros on there if you want to count the zeros in front of the twos. And the topic of today is how manifestation works. Because everyone at this point, I believe, is aware of what a manifestation is and understand in the way of how it works. But we wanted to talk quite a lot deeper into manifestation. Okay, so the biggest manifestation that I believe is happening right now worldwide is that the human consciousness have been risen, and it continues to rise every single day. That the more people that are waking up to literally everything, because when you start to awaken, it's not just awakening to this global problem right now. This is just a catalyst to everything else. People are starting to wake up and see a lot more of the world, and most importantly, themselves, and how they might have been contributing to this global manifestation, right? Yeah. Those that are realizing that they're contributing in a negative way, and those that have been contributing in a positive way. Right now, what do I mean when I say that? People that are contributing in the positive way are those are the people that have been spreading the healing, spreading the word, so to speak, saying that this year, 2020 is when it started. The 2020 is going to be the year that everything will change, that the humanity will start to awaken. And, our world and our lives and who we are as human beings will forever be changed. And here we are experiencing this on a massive, massive, massive scale.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, the manifestation of the fears of, another biggest one I've come across is fear of the war coming, and realizing that they are in one already. And, some of them go lower into the, I want to call it like a bunker, where they're hiding themselves from everything that's happening. They're just, hiding because they've been preparing for this. And while others from day one, they have become warriors one way or another, whether they have been started training on their mind, or, the mind got the best of them and then they started their training. So whatever people started their training, right? And then others that not only the mind and the body, and they come out of this looking like a freaking warrior. And I was one of those people that wanted to come out looking like a warrior and feeling like a warrior and thinking like a warrior and all of that, but we're not still out of it. Like,
right. Oh yeah.
This is not this is just the beginning. Yeah. What's gonna come after this? There's gonna be so many new changes that I know we're all prepared for, because if we weren't, we wouldn't be here. We're all here today because we are prepared for what's to come. And it's extremely important at this point, I believe, and almost crucial. And that's my belief, right? Bethany, you can agree or disagree. Everyone that's watching, you can agree or disagree. But my belief is that this is the time for all of us to really train our mind. That the warrior is, that's why in order to have the warrior's body, you need to have the warrior's mindset and mentality. And I have been training mine for years. And during these past 2 years, a lot of obstacles got thrown in my face, and I've tumbled and I've fallen and I've risen and I've fallen and I've laid down there and then I've risen again. And it's been like up and down, like a roller coaster ride that I just get up and then it's down, up and down. And it's been incredibly challenging. And I have been keeping it all to myself and working through it myself and with my coaches. And the whole point of everything that I'm saying, tying it into the topic, that manifestation of any sort, it is self-created. So this quote came to mind. I don't know if it's an actual quote or not, but I just wrote it down before Bethany hopped on, and it's this: your life is the manifestation, like your current life right now is the manifestation of your subconscious mind, of your unconsciousness, right? And that's why I am a huge believer in the mindset, in the power of our mind, that we can create and have anything we want, and everything starts in the mind. That that if you want to become rich, you can. If you want to become poor, you can. But most people don't realize that they want to become rich, but they are living the life and the mentality of a poor person. So you cannot, you physically cannot even embody a rich person if you're living and thinking and breathing poor. I can't afford this, I can't do that. That is manifestation. Your words, your thoughts, whether they're conscious or subconscious, they are the determining points of what you are going to manifest into reality. It's really as simple as that. That's just a simple fact.
Right.
I actually believe science has also proven it as well at this point, more than enough times. People have healed themselves as well. They've created a life that they didn't even dream of, so to speak, right? They dreamt of a life, but they created a much better one that they even dreamt of. And it all started with reprogramming.
Yeah, reframe, rewire. Yeah.
Right? So, Bethany, what are your, I don't know, vomit on us is what I want to say.
Yeah.
Really, everything.
For sure. Well, so for manifestation, it's been a huge catalyst in my life. It's been a changing point for my life. And I think a lot of people can agree with that once you started to manifest the things you want. And I guess, like, what is manifesting? It's when you're feeling what you're feeling, that desire that you want, and you're believing it, that it's there and it's going to happen, while you're showing the universe what you want by everything you're saying. Now, I know you're mentioning about how you can have fear manifestation, and then there's the positive manifestation. And I want to say, my years kind of collide sometimes. But 4 or 5 years ago, I was manifesting fear. That's what my mind was about. Oh my gosh, they're out to get me. Oh my goodness, like I'm never gonna find something. And the minute I started to learn about, having my spiritual awakening and going through personal growth and development and getting into like myself, as you know, creating myself on who I want to be, that's when like that huge like thing happened where I realized, okay, I've been manifesting all along in my life, but I wasn't manifesting what I wanted. I manifested what I didn't want and thinking that it was going to be what I want, but it didn't work that way. And so once I started, it just, oh man, like my mind just opened up, and I've just, now the life I'm living is everything I want. I actually, this last week, I was recovering from an illness. And in the past, I would, oh my gosh, I don't want, like, I want to be somewhere else. Like, this sucks. But with this time, I found myself being like, man, this is where I want my life to be. Yes, I'm not feeling well, but I'm learning, and some amazing stuff is going to come from this. Like, I learned a lot about myself during the whole sickness, but the main thing is I manifested me healing and recovering, because I stuck with my self-care and self-love. I stuck with my weekly schedule that I do on my personal Facebook page, and also in group. I share that stuff too. But to kind of open people to like me and my inner side, my spiritual side, as you're mentioning, you're doing more, Yana. But I realized that I manifested my healing. Because so yesterday I had a dentist appointment, and I got sick before it, and I've been waiting for this dentist appointment for 6 months. And I was like, I will be at that dentist appointment. I will be there. And guess what? I was there yesterday, and I felt way better yesterday. And the reason why is because I manifested my healing and my recovery, but I also was manifesting, my desires that I continue to go through. And yesterday was a new moon. So with the new moon, I was able to manifest my desires even more. And then today being 2/2/22, it's a big manifesting day. It's a big like that portal is open today. So if today is the day you start manifesting, hell yeah, you chose a great day.
And on top of it, if you as a female, this is your cycle, because mine started this Monday, which was actually late. And my husband was really excited that it was late, and I am like panicking and freaking out at the same time. Franticking is a new word, I guess. So I was franticking here, like, oh my god, 2 days late. I'm like, no, I sat down and I talked to myself that if it's late for a reason. And because it was getting closer to the full moon and the open portal, and then today where I'm feeling really great because I spent my day yesterday doing exactly what I envisioned myself doing for the most part of the day. And that is in embracing myself, or I can't even think of the word, but completely hiding in my office and focusing on certain trainings, and then taking the action on those trainings, right? So learning a lot on what my next steps are going to be and planning things out.
That's awesome.
So one of the things that popped into my mind when you were talking, I can't remember what you were saying in the beginning when you started talking about manifesting, but I kept hearing, start noticing the synchronicities. So the reason for that is because when we are just focusing on wanting something and wanting and dreaming about it and everything, we actually forget this part of noticing the synchronicities, noticing the little signs, if you will, that are telling you you're on the right path, that yes, it's happening, yes, it's coming, right? You just need to be patient. You just need to hold this energy, because manifestation is not just the thoughts alone, it's the feelings and the emotions that are involved in that. So everything, like, if you want to be a billionaire, you need to start living like one. And I don't mean in the way of going and spending like one, I mean everything else that they do, which means that you gotta go out there and study those billionaires that align with you.
Yeah.
You want to become more spiritual, the same thing. You want to become enlightened, the same thing. Find those people that speak to your heart, your soul, not your head,
Right.
your heart, and you will know, because they will bring out emotions out of you that you might have even forgotten that you've had. They'll pull at your heartstrings. You'll know when you find them, and those are the people that you need to surround yourself with, because those are the people, I know right away. I'm already thinking of those of you that are thinking, well, I can't afford to hire those people. I'm not talking about hiring those people. Like, for example, Tony Robbins. Nobody can afford to hire Tony Robbins one-on-one. But guess what? You can afford to go to YouTube, type in Tony Robbins, and watch the shit out of all these content.
Exactly.
Right? Like, that's how you can align and surround yourself with those types of people. If you can't physically be there, you can be there in spirit, and they can be there in spirit with you, and you completely immerse yourself. That's the word I was looking for, that I was doing yesterday. I was immersing myself in a mentor and in the lessons, and that's what helps you to manifest more, because you will start to live and breathe and think like one, right? And you start to act like one. And the same thing with anything that you want to manifest. You want to manifest a great body, align yourself with those types of mentors that will fuel you and show up for them and for yourself every single day, which means find a time to immerse yourself in these individuals, right? That will cost you nothing but time. And time is one of the most undervalued assets that we all have. And we value money more than time until we get to a certain point. Then we're like, okay, I value time more than money. So until you are able to switch that, I want you to think of, the 2 hours, for example. Let's use 2 hours or 90 minutes, because let's say a lot of workshops and events are 90 minutes nowadays. Now, what's going to benefit you more? And I'll ask you, Bethany, this question, and then you can tell me also why. You sitting down and spending 90 minutes watching a really fun and entertaining show that you absolutely love, and you're going to walk away giggling and feeling great about it, or spending 90 minutes immersing yourself in knowledge that you perhaps didn't have or had a little bit of, and going deeper into your personal growth, right? Which one would have more value for you, and why?
The one that's going to have more value is going to be the one where I'm learning, the one I'm sitting down and I am learning more about myself, because what you're really doing is, when you're sitting down and you're learning, you're following your heart. And that's the best place to start. And because sometimes you don't want, like, your mind doesn't want what your heart wants. Your mind has that analytical, okay, we got to do this. And when it comes to your heart, it's like, we could put that off for later. But when you're sitting down and you're learning and you're watching that 90-minute program, or you're doing that 90-minute class, you're going to come away with so much more expansion, and you're going to find yourself, having more ideas and connecting with your heart, and which is going to in return connect to your true authentic self, which is then going to help you honor yourself. And then you're just going to catapult yourself to greatness. Yeah. Because you're working on yourself. Sure, there's times where I will watch something where it makes me laugh, but I find that to be less than it used to be. Now I'm more looking for things that are going to help me grow and expand and learn. And yeah, a lot of the times the stuff, I still get that giggle factor. I leave feeling great, but even better than what I would have if I would have gone the other route.
Yeah. Yeah. And I wanted to ask that question to help everyone to see the value of our choices. And unfortunately, most people will choose the easier way. And the easier way is that show, the series, and that's how most people do spend their free time, because they've worked really hard and now it's time to rest and relax, which is not how we human beings were actually meant to live either. Because the way that we're meant to live from morning until bedtime, we're always doing something and going and adding value. We're supposed to and meant to add value to ourselves and our community. And
Right.
now we have access to a worldwide community that we can all add value to. That the community does not necessarily mean anymore that it's just people local near you. And part of manifestation is surrounding yourself with people physically as well that align with where you want to go and who you want to be, right? Not necessarily who you are and where you are, and definitely not who you were and where you were, because life
Right.
is all about going forward. And what else? So, looking at the time, it's 1:53. So, a few things that I wrote down on here that I wanted to mention. What helps to manifest? Doing things like I said, noticing the synchronicities. That is really just a constant reminder that what you're doing is working, and we all want proof. So that's proof. Okay, you got to look for that proof consciously everywhere you look, and you will see it. You will see the signs everywhere if you just start looking. Okay. And also getting clear on what is it that you actually want. What is it that you want to manifest? And most importantly, why you want it. Because that is the driving point of each thing that you want to manifest. And staying focused on what is it that you want to manifest, right? The one thing that you want to manifest. And I know a lot of us, if not all of us, we struggle with focusing on one thing, and we want a lot of different things. But I promise you that by focusing just on one, it will have a ripple effect into others that you want. So you might end up manifesting them unconsciously.
Yeah.
That is the bonus that comes with you just focusing on one thing that you want to manifest. Um, your mental health and your physical health are crucial to manifestation, because what you think, what you believe is what you're going to manifest consciously and subconsciously. How you feel will affect how you think as well. So if you feel like crap, if you're under the weather, if you're feeling a little bit sick or a lot sick or a little bit sluggish or a lot sluggish, your mind will shift to the negative side, and it's so automatic. And in these times, all I want you to do is just remind yourself that this is going to pass, that this is not the real you, this is not the true you, that these thoughts and feelings are foreigners and you do not want them, because they are a bacteria that is trying to convince you that you're shit, essentially.
Right.
Right.
I was going to say that something that helps me is to focus on the healing and recovery aspect instead of being like, oh, I'm under the weather. Oh my gosh. And I was just sick. So, it's kind of perfect timing to where like I was focusing on recovering, healing, and like everything you mentioned. And it really helped.
Yeah. So shifting your focus, right?
Yeah.
And that also is part of the mental health that I talk about. When we are physically sick, our mental health will tell us where it is at. And for most of us, it is negativity that comes with it. And that's why being gentle with yourself and reminding yourself that this is temporary, that it's only for a period of time, and that this is your body actually telling you to slow the F down and breathe a little bit because you have been doing too much. It is also, sicknesses are a manifestation of us overdoing and overworking as well, that the body says, okay, listen, bitch, you're not listening.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I am going to put you down for a week and I'm going to quarantine you, if you will, because
Yeah.
you're not listening to me.
Yeah,
Right? So the body knows better than we do, and we have been disconnected with our body, so we lost the ability to listen to ourselves and hear ourselves. So that's another manifestation that hopefully many of you want to create, is realign yourself with your body, mind, spirit, and soul, and intuition and wisdom, and become one, that you're, as one as you're meant to be. So the body aches when you're aching, when you're feeling like crap, you're going to be showing that outwardly, right? When you are miserable, you're going to express that. So that's why when people are being mean and hurtful, don't take it personally, because it has nothing to do with you. It's because they are in pain and they are suffering. Even if it's a cold, many of us feel like we're suffering with this cold, and that's okay. It passes. Use this time, like Bethany was saying, using this time to, it's a lesson, to learn
Yeah.
that lesson, to sit with yourself, to sit with the sickness, with this cold, this flu, whatever it is that you're experiencing, and let it be your teacher, because that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to get through to you so you can finally listen and hear what the body is trying to tell you. Well, I've never done that. How do I do that? You do that by starting to sit down and just essentially talking to yourself.
Meditation.
Yes, like go and do a guided meditation. If you don't want to listen and hear yourself talk, go do a meditation. It will distract you enough so the important messages will come through for you, and you'll know what they are, because your body will have a reaction to it. Like, I kid you not, your body will have a physical reaction to it. It might be like a heart spike or a jolt you feel, or like, oh my God, or tears, or like a huge sense of relief. You will know it. And I will tell you that those are the feelings that we become addicted to. It's an addictive feeling, having that moment of, holy fuck, I get it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. It's addicting. And you'll start, and that just opens up your creativity and manifestation. So the other thing, creativity. Express your creativity. Whatever it is that you love doing, do more of that. Find time to do it. Carve out time, right? You can make more time, but you can carve out time. You can borrow time, because time is one of those things that we all have. All of our days are numbered. Even the
Right.
calendar's days are numbered,
Yeah.
right? All of our days are numbered. We just don't know what that magic number is, nor should we even want to know.
I'd
Right?
rather just go about and, just enjoy
Right.
the process of life, like, and then, just enjoy. Like, there's a video you posted the other day that was like, this life is like a game that we're always playing, and it's so true. It's like, the end is when we die. So enjoy the process, enjoy what's going on in front of you, and create, like you said, create what you want, because it's possible. Like for me, I created that I wanted to be on a road to recovery by the 1st. And when yesterday hit, I was feeling so much better. And I was like, yes, I manifested that. Look at me. Like, I was so proud of myself.
And many people will say that right there is a huge manifestation, that some of you might feel even that it's not possible, right? But we're here to tell you that these things are very, very possible. Right now, we're just talking about a cold or a flu, whatever we want to call it at this point. because there's so many
You're
different names.
right. Yeah, it's just a flare.
Um,
Like it's you know.
right? But how we can all heal ourselves, how we can all get to that next version of ourselves that we want to get to. Another way of how to help you to manifest things is doing a burn ceremony as well. I know we had a whole entire video on this topic and the subject. So you can go to my YouTube channel under Empath Unicorn Academy and just search my library and you'll find that on there. But burn ceremony is a great way how to manifest things as well and let go of things. Because that's how I like to do the burn ceremony, let go of what I want to let go and heal the things that I want to heal, and then call in what it is that I want. So timing, as we started talking about in the beginning, is very important as well. So there are, now what do I mean by timing? I mean, when you feel like total crap, and you feel sick and disgusting, because that's how we feel when we're sick. We just feel crappy. That is not always the time for everyone to manifest things that are outside of the sickness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is not the time to go and run a marathon, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, the seasons, the dates, the actual time, and then there's moon. What else would you say falls under the timing?
I think everything you've mentioned. Also, I guess like, or if you're a woman, your woman cycles, there's timing there, because at the when you're having your period, you're really releasing, so you can use that timing. As I look at my journal, it shows nature. When I go outside every day and I have nature time. So, you know, time with nature it's a big one for me, because I do a lot of my releasing, my letting go, my call-ins. I do a lot of that in nature. And we talked about a little bit nature last week on our podcast here. But yeah, so like nature time. There's also like when different planets go in alignment, you know, there's that kind of stuff. And like when certain portals open, so you have like 11:11 portal, or you have 10:10 portal, or you have the 2:2 portal. So it's just, and some of it goes to with astrology. So if you're really into like planets and, you know, all that kind of stuff, you can find different timings for stuff. There's also, like you said, seasons, the new year, like starting a new year. Gosh, there's a lot of different things, and I feel like you'll find your divine timing when you have that timing. For me, it's the moon cycles. You know, I start the new moon with my intention, my seed planning, my why, and then full moon is when I reevaluate and I kind of look at what I'm doing and see my harvest. You know, what's growing, what's coming into form. And then I'm able to go back into like resting, relaxing, and yeah, so you know, that's kind of my divine timing. It's the moon cycle.
Yeah, I would, when you said divine timing, that caused me to think of when you feel called to do it. Right? So that's like your intuition. When your intuition tells you it is time to go and do this, you go and you do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Now, whether it's a burn ceremony, or whether you want to just burn sage, whether you came across a leaf outside that you want to burn, or maybe you decided that you want to go take some snow from outside and melt it and maybe sit in the bathtub with it. I don't know, like anything that you feel called to doing, do it, because that is, it's just like, the word curiosity also comes to mind, that You know, you're curious about, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I do this, what's going to happen? You are your own scientist of your own life, and you got to figure out what science experiments work for you to manifest what it is that you want to manifest through these science experiments, right? That's why life is a game that's neither meant to be won or lost. It's just meant to be played, like the video that you said I was
Yeah.
the other day. And that's what it is. You gotta have fun with it and stop being so freaking serious all the time. Life is not meant to be serious. Life is not as hard as we make it out to be, but it is as hard as we make it out to be, right? If we believe life is hard, it's going to be hard. If we believe life is easy, it's going to be easy. If we believe that it's freezing cold outside and you go outside in the summer, you're going to feel cold, right? So we do manifest the life that we live at this point unconsciously.
Mhm.
But that's why this video, we've taken the time to create this video for all of you to start to shift more to the conscious side of it and start manifesting the things that you desire and want more consciously. And also, I want to tell you that the fact that we desire something automatically can cause us to feel fear and anxiety as well. Because by desiring something, what we're saying is we don't have it. So, and then also when we have it, when we finally do achieve that desire, that we also might have a fear of then losing it. But if you manifested it once, you can manifest it again, right? A lot of us also want to do something once and never have to do it again, right? Earn the first million and then not never do anything after that. But that's why we get depressed as well, because that target, that goal never gets moved, and at the same time it might perhaps might not be big enough. So when you are thinking of what do I want to manifest, I want you to also think bigger. Think whatever you put on your list. Hopefully you wrote down and you put something on your list of what you wanted to manifest. I want you to up it up a few notches and think a little bit bigger. And then you also mentioned and talked about going outside, how you like to go outside, right? And tap into nature. So another thing I'll say, today, out of all days, it's all these twos, it's the full moon, and on top of it, it's snowing, or in other words, it's raining.
Right.
And in other parts of the world, it's raining. So that is a very good omen and a good sign of out with the old and in with the new, cleansing, washing, purifying, right? So that's why, Bethany asked me before we went live, did you plan this? Was this on purpose, this topic for today? I'm like, no, I swear it wasn't. I just had to come up with a topic really quick, and I came up with it on Monday, not even knowing the dates or anything like that. And boom, here we are on today's day with the snowstorm that was promised, I think, yesterday, but it waited for today.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So honestly, I found it to be so cool, because what I like to do is I do water activation a lot. I know you guys have all seen it, but when it snows or rains, I do I did a snow activation today when I was outside, when I was doing my 2-2 manifesting. I did my snow activation, and that's exactly what you're saying, about purifying, cleansing. That's what I put into this. It's like, it's a time to really heal, to release, to, start planting our seeds that we want. And having that snow, I was just like, ooh, it was like a sign from the universe for me, because I was like, yes, all right.
See? And that is also manifesting and then looking for signs. Because what signs do, synchronicities, what they allow us to do is add more gas to the fire, or more fuel to the fire, however you want to phrase it. Because the goal of manifesting is to start a little fire and then grow bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And you got to start with something small that you can manifest. I'm not, when I say think bigger when it comes to manifesting, let's say I'll use an example of money, because a lot of people, they will be desiring to manifest money. If you haven't manifested any money, right? What I mean by that is money came into your life unexpectedly, where it wasn't planned, and it wasn't a paycheck that you already get. It was just extra money, a surprise money, or finally you got a client or clients or whatnot, right? That's what I'm talking about, manifesting this money. So if you've never manifested any money at all, like zero, for you might have started, let's say, at $1,000 or maybe $500. Some of you, I want you to think a little bit bigger, but not in the way of $1 million, and then you continue to think of it as I can't get the $1 million, because if it's impossible. And that's why you got to start small, at a small thing that you can manifest. And then would that allow you to do? So it might not be money for you, it might be, and on manifesting money for me, one of the signs that came in, it's attached over there, and I'm too lazy to get up, but it was a Monopoly $500 bill. Nice. So fake Monopoly money that was in my front yard of the house that I was walking by. I'm like, oh my God, look what I manifested. And I was so excited about it. And that's when money started to roll in. Right. Because I was focusing on the $500 number, but I wasn't very clear on it being actual money I can use. Right. So that's the other part of manifestation. You got to be really clear on that. And by focusing on something that, it's like the whole point of manifestation is to get this fire started and then going into bigger and bigger and bigger, like spinning the wheel. You want to start spinning that wheel. Mm-hmm. Now I'm just using two different examples now. One with fire, one with spinning wheel. Let's stick to the fire.
Well, I mean, someone might find the second example a little bit more understanding. Yeah. First one, you never know.
Like a merry-go-round in that case, like the spinning wheel, the merry-go-round. In the beginning, it might be hard to get it started. So that's why I want you to start with something that is a lot more believable to you, that you know that you can manifest.
It would be like your test manifesting thing, where you're gonna be able to do it, and then it's like, oh my gosh, I did that. So if I did this, now let me try this. And that's how I started with mine. I did something really small. I don't even remember what it was. With money, I had this meditation where I envisioned myself in nature, and I just had like this huge wad of cash in my hand. And then later on, that's what happened. We were blessed with so much abundance. And it was like, oh, wow, I manifested that, like, holy crap. And so that was for me, my big thing that like catapulted me into the manifesting everything into my life today. Like everything that I have in my life, I manifested it to be this way. Yeah.
And I want everyone to be able to say that exactly. Everything that I have in my life, I manifested it. And you might not say it, but I hear how proud you are of manifesting everything you have in your life to this point.
Oh my gosh, yes. Like just when I was like, just the other day when I was like really like down and out, it was like, not like, oh my gosh, I want to be in this different place. I was like, this is where I want to be. I just know I need to heal. I need to rest. I need to recharge. I need to listen to within, because I wasn't listening to myself like I thought I was. And so when I got sick, it was like, oh, all right, Bethany. Okay, I hear you. I see you. I know something's going on. So let me know what I'm supposed to learn. And so much lessons came from it.
Yeah. And you got to share a lot of these lessons throughout the day. And it was, we always say that, you know, all of these things we get to experience right before we go and do our sort of unicorn, so we can talk from fresh, firsthand experience.
Yeah.
And it's literally so fresh that we're able to tap into that and not only express it, but also show it in the way that we're showing up.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yes.
There was something that I learned that I wanted to share with everyone real quick from me being under the weather. It was quality of family time. And, you know, before I'd have my family time, but I always had my phone with me. And when I was sick this time, I did not want anything to do with my phone. It was, get away from me. I don't want this. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is that feeling I was wanting. And then another one was with my diet. I was like, oh yeah, I'm great. I mean, last week I was telling you when the rest of my family was sick, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm doing great. Like, but then my body was like, hold on. And it showed me that I needed to reevaluate my diet, what I was consuming into my life, meaning like online, on my phone, you know, stuff that I'm actually eating, you know, all that kind of stuff, everything I'm consuming. It helped me reevaluate. And those were probably like, oh, another one was the control, losing control. I only want to control myself, but I didn't see how I could do that. And then when I got under the weather, it was like, well, here you are. Like, you can't really control anything. You got to be with yourself. And it was like oh my gosh, like, yes. So it sucked to be like under the weather, but I learned so much from it, and I manifested so much that it just was, here I am, and I'm just so proud of myself. And it's possible for you, for anyone listening that's like, oh, well, that's not going to happen to me. Don't doubt yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in the thought, the action. Believe what you want. And when you have that 100% like, ooh, I believe this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And so it is, it will show to you in, you know, in your own form. You know, we have all of our different ways of learning, and, you know, just dig deep. I guess that's the big one. Dig deep.
What I really heard you say with this last part about belief and believing is that the belief itself is the key ingredient to manifestation. It is a recipe. Like I said, we're all scientists. We're all trying out recipes and remedies and what we want in our life. All of that is really a recipe for life, recipe for living, recipe for building a business, recipe for raising kids, recipe for training your dog or raising your dog. It's all recipes. Everything that we're doing is a recipe. Right? Whether somebody else gave us a recipe and we're following their footsteps and doing the recipe and see how it works out for us, and if we like it or not. So thank you for saying that. And when you're talking about the phone and putting the phone away with the family, that for me, it reminded me of the same realization a few years back. And that's why on the weekends, my phone is away. In the evenings, my phone is away. And I rarely, and I say rarely because I still once in a while do respond, but it's in the blue moon, and it's very rare. And the goal is to not to eventually. But I put my phone away, put my devices away, and it's just me and the family and the house and the pets, and I am present and I'm here. And it took me some time to learn to, working from home is a huge, huge, huge challenge for everyone who has not had the experience or practice of how to do it, which is pretty much everyone.
Right.
And learning how to turn off your business mode, turn off your mother mode, turn off your caregiver mode, so that way you can be present in your business, or turn off your business mode so you can be present with the family, right? Turning off these things. It's boundaries as well, right? I teach people how to set healthy boundaries, and that was one of the boundaries that I needed to understand and set, and remind myself right off in the beginning not to do that. And then the why behind it is very important. Anything and everything we do needs a why. Because if you don't have the why you want it, then it's just an idea, then it's just a goal, it's just a word. It means, it has no meaning and it has no value unless you attach the why to it, the vibe to it. My Russian accent.
The vibe, yeah, same thing.
The vibe to it. Attach the vibe to it.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said vibe.
But that is really the fuel to that fire. And continue to add the why to it. To, expand on the why, or to the new manifestation, to the new goal, to the new target that you want. Add the why to it and continue adding everything that you're doing. Get clear on the why. Like, that's a question that we don't really think about very much, and don't realize that that's the question that we were born asking.
Right.
If we were born asking why.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Why do we stop, and why do we not continue? Why do we lose the value of the simple question of one word, why?
Yeah, that was like when I was just this last week when I fell ill. I was like, why is this happening to me? What am I supposed to learn on Thursday last week when I was in my darkest place? I asked myself why. And then that's when all those realizations came to me. And it was like, oh my God, I see it now. And like with the phone, I've had that realization, and I've, done it a little bit, but I didn't fully do it. And I would still have my phone with me. And this was, I think, that big like smack, like, excuse me, like a smack in the face, like, hey, why are you not getting this? And it was like, okay, I get it now. But yeah, I had to ask the why. Because
and exactly, like, we gotta ask why sometimes, many times.
Yeah.
And to get to the resolution that we've been wanting to. And we need to get that answer to that question enough times and have enough realizations for the same thing until it finally clicks in, until we finally get it. We rarely learn a lesson from the first time. We need to learn a lesson over and over and over again. And that's okay. That is part of the process. A child did not learn, you as a child did not learn how to walk on a first attempt.
No.
You kept trying and trying and trying to learn this one particular lesson that you were ready to learn because you got up and you tried to walk. Right? So when do I know that I'm ready is a question that I hear all the time. It's a question that I ask myself once in a while, and instantly my response is now. If you are asking that question, you are ready now. And if something is coming to your field right now, then that means that you're ready. Well, you might not feel ready. Right. And I'm here to tell you that you'll never feel ready. Yeah. You might feel ready momentarily when you're really hyped up and excited, but then that feeling of readiness goes away. And you forget that you are actually ready. You have been preparing for this. This is it. Right? Of course, this is not the only time.
Right.
But this might be the only time you would have this opportunity, or whatever it is that is in front of you. right? So talking about opportunities, I wanted to take the time and also mention that I'm going to be hosting the Being Day event. I know it's already on social media, but I'll continue to put it out there more and more and more.
I like the
So,
date that you chose for that too. 2/22.
now,
22.
again, not a plan. It was not a plan either. It was just, it's the last Tuesday of the month that I do this, and it just happens to be on the 22nd. So that's why I'm like, and I literally just realized that as you started saying it, I'm like, oh shit, it's also on the 22nd, a lot of twos.
Yeah.
And the topic is how to overcome anxiety and live the life of your dreams. And that everything that we were talking about today is a great lead way into what I'm going to be talking about on this workshop, on this event, on this Being Day. And it will be about energy levels, the 7 energy levels, and each and every one of you will get to understand how you are showing up currently, and then learn not to judge yourself on it, and then have more choices available to you, right? With all the other energy levels that are there. And the energy levels alone are great tools. And I say tools because there's 7 levels, so 7 tools that each and every one of you will get to walk away understanding enough on how you can apply to your own life, and have already been applying it consciously, subconsciously for the most people, because consciously you would have had to have known the energy levels, but at the same time you might have already been applying them consciously, but not with the levels numbers, but energies, or energetically speaking. So that's a great way of how you can choose to spend 90 minutes of your day and put Netflix aside. So it will be on Tuesday, February 22nd at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. And it will be for 90 minutes, so until 2 p.m.
Nice. That's exciting. I'm excited for you.
That's going to be a lot in there. It's going to be my first Being Day that I'll actually host.
I think it's a beautiful day that you chose it for. Like when I saw the date, I was like, oh, look at you. And I didn't realize you didn't, necessarily realize what you were doing.
It was me. That's what I like to me, it's one of those synchronicities that I get to see as well, that it chose me, because I just chose to host it last Tuesday of the month, and it just happens to be that Tuesday. It chose me. Just like today, I came up with a topic. We do it on Wednesday, the same time, same day of the week, and it chose me. The topic came to me because I didn't want to think too many words. So that's why it's just like really quick and short and straight to the point. There it is, and the one for tomorrow as well, really quick and straight and short to the point, which is mindset health. Mental health we'll be talking about tomorrow. And so I think that's pretty much everything, and then some that we wanted to cover. So I want Bethany to end with a quote, because I know you always have your quotes. And then how I'll end it is I'll do a card reading. This is a Moonology card reading. So I'll do a really quick card reading, and then we'll be done and out of your hair.
Alrighty. So this is one that I feel like we can all align with. So here it is. I am always enough. I am here now. I breathe and let go. I trust and follow my wisdoms and the universal wisdoms around me. I am full of infinite and limitless abundance. I got this.
That is a perfect quote for manifestation, because in order for anyone to manifest, you got to get all that shit down pat.
Yeah, right.
Or at least be really familiar with it so you can actually embody it. So thank you. That was a perfect quote for today, or a poem for today.
Yeah.
So, what I will do is, this is how I like to do my card reading for myself, or for whoever I do it for. What is it that you need to hear? Now, because there's a lot of yous out there, and I don't know each and every one of you out there, this card will be for everyone, and that's why I feel like everyone who's watching it will need to, like, this card is meant for you. So, what do you, as the viewer, listener, and a participator of this podcast today, needs to hear? There. Ask the question, cut the deck, pull out the card. I'm pulling out the card right from the middle, and this is what the card is. I don't know if it shows backwards on there or not. It says, last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. Now, let's find it. Last quarter moon in Scorpio, Aquarius. Last quarter moon. Last quarter moon in, I'm looking at Capricorn. Last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. So some of these things I will read to you and I will let you know before, but I'm not a moonologist. I'm not a moon professional. I'm not a moon expert. I just know it's there. I know it has faces. I know I am attracted to it. I know that I want to howl to it. I know certain things, but I don't know everything. And when the time comes, I'll let you know. And if one of you knows what that piece is, please put it in the comments so those that are watching later can have that part answered for them without having to do the searching. Okay, so last quarter moon in Scorpio, reveal what needs to be seen. There are some things that people just don't like to talk about. Drawing this card suggests there is an issue or situation in your life now that might not be easy to air. The first thing that instantly comes to mind as a professional and as a human being that has things that I need aired out for myself. Aired out means express, take it outside from inside myself, take it outside and verbally express it. Highly recommend. This was not planned, guys, okay? But I'm just going to unapologetically promote myself and say hire a professional coach like myself, not necessarily me. But if I align with you, and if chances are if you're watching this, then I might be the person for you. And I'm actually planning on starting group coaching. So there's going to be a significant discount being part of the group. But if you want one-on-one, this is where you get a lot more. But all of us, we have shit that we need aired out, that we need help with, working through, uncovering, healing through, each and every human being. And I kid you not, everyone. I have my coaches to help me through it. I have 2 at this point. And I believe every single human being needs a coach in their life, or a therapist, or someone along those lines. Okay, so back to the reading. Where was I? Drawing this card suggests that there is an issue or situation in your life now that might not be easy to air. Something hard that you're wanting to work through and you need help and you can't do it on your own, or you struggle in doing it on your own. I believe everyone can do it on their own, but why should you have to, when it can be made so much easier by getting help? Or perhaps you feel that you shouldn't air it. That's fine. Now is a time for you to reveal only what you want to be seen. Talking about manifestation, right? Don't feel the need to discuss everything with everyone. Some matters require discretion, hence the professional, right? It's like I knew what was written in here in a way. The less codependent you are, the better chance you have of getting what you want. Now, one of the things I like that they use the word codependent, because the biggest goal of a coach versus a therapist is to get you on your feet on your own as soon as possible. That's why most coaches, they offer a program, like a 10-week program, 12-week, 16-week program. So the program that I'm offering is a 16-week program. I don't have an actual date of when I'm going to be starting it. If you're interested, reach out to me. And then, the more interest that is shown right now, this is just a plan. I've already gone through this program, taking people through the program. It's called the Law of Being program. So I already know everything that needs to happen. It's just now I'm slowly starting to put it out there and let people know that that's what I'm doing. So when there's enough numbers, then I can decide on the date. But the goal of a coach is to give you all the help and all the tools so you are afterwards on your own and not relying on anyone and not needing to hold anyone's hand. Okay, so next thing, it says a manifesting mix, because it has manifesting magic, a manifesting mix. So manifesting mix is, there are two forces at play and neither wants to budge. Strong is good, stubborn is a problem. So let me know what that means to you.
For me, that was like everything that I dealt with this last week, like this card is like hitting, it's my synchronicity. It's that reminder, like I was, with family time, no devices, I kept bringing the devices in when I was telling myself, I don't want the device here. And so after a while, my body's like, well, what the hell do you want then?
Yeah.
And then watching what I'm consuming, meaning like food and like mental health and not being stubborn. And when you bring up stubborn, that's what I was being stubborn with. I'm like, oh no, I can have candy and I can consume all this garbage on TV and it's not going to affect me because I got this.
I've done that for too long.
Right. And so this sickness really like put me in my place. And it was like, you think you can, then why are you sick right now? Why are you doing this right now? And that's what made me get to the point where I am today. And I'm like, wow, I see it. And I'm grateful. There's so much gratitude for this illness. And in the past, I would have hated it. I would have cursed it. And this time I welcomed it and I let it be seen, heard, and loved. Because there's sometimes those negative parts we don't love, like we do the positive parts. And I feel like when we're not loving that, we're not having that alignment there and we're not having that balance there. Once you have that balance, it's that negative side isn't going to be as strong. The pull's not going to be as strong.
And that's important, right? It's important to have that strong pull. And that means working on yourself. And very often also means to get out of your own way.
Yes.
We get in our own way and we don't realize that we do, and overindulging in something, like you were talking about spending time with no technology. Intuitively, how I understand no technology is that technology is spyware. It really is spyware. Everything is being tracked and recorded, period. There is no ifs or buts about it. It is a fact, whether we or you is aware of it or not.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And we signed that contract of allowing, part of ourselves to be tracked. Okay, now when we want to put it away, when we don't feel good, why is it that the first thing that you want to put away is this intrusive device?
Right. Right, exactly. But when we're feeling good, we don't even have a thought to like get that away, you know?
Yeah. But we also, when we're feeling bad, is because we already have low energy and less energy than we normally do. So we are a lot more, it's like you become on high alert on everything else that comes into your field. And that's a great thing, to take a moment, whatever, however long that moment lasts, that you're sick, to take a moment and to identify all of these things that are telling you that they're not actually helping you.
Yeah.
And when you are sick, you're able to identify those easier than when you're not, because
Right.
you're distracted and you're going and you're going and going, and you're always on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next thing on here is manifesting mindset. When you no longer feel the need to tell everyone what you're manifesting, you're ready to start manifesting.
Right.
In other words, when you what I've learned about the brain and the mind, the way that it works, and how manifestation works as well, and how our energy works as well when we want to achieve something. When we have this dream, this goal, this thing that we want to manifest, and we go and we tell everyone about it, we are less likely to do it, because we've already experienced pretty much everything we possibly can, as if we already have it. Because what happens is, the reason why we want to share our excitement is because we can only experience so much on our own, and by sharing it with others, we get to amplify it by using their energy as well. And reserving that experience for after you win the game, even though it's not a game to be won or lost, play, right? But all of us, we want to have a win. So I'm going to talk in the language that you understand. So if you want to have that win and experience that win and all the glory that comes with it, hold off until afterwards. Don't pop the cork of the champagne prematurely.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Is what it is. And do it afterwards. So, I know for some of you, if not most of you, because chances are most of you are the same or similar to how I am. And when I have an idea, I get really excited and I want to share with everyone. Like, I love people and I love sharing ideas and I love doing all of that. And when I learned this fact, it was really challenging for me to keep things to myself, because I'm an open book, and I don't hold anything back. And it was really challenging for me not to talk about my goals and my dreams. And a lot of them, most of them, I still don't. And people don't know of them for this fact, because they are so big and so uncomfortable that I know will be easier, and I will get to experience it by sharing it with others, but it will take away from the energy that I would put into actually achieving it. And it might become one of those things that I won't want to achieve anymore. Or I won't want to do anymore, because I've already experienced it. I already felt it. Because each goal that we want is not the act. What we want is not the thing itself. It's the feeling and the emotions and the experiences that it will allow us to have. And by us already using and tapping into that right now, we no longer will want that goal. So
Right.
for some of you, guaranteed it would be like, oh my God, this is awesome. I can go right now and I can achieve these goals without ever having to achieve them, because really it's just, I want to have the feeling and the experience and the emotion of that, and not actually having to have that thing. Go and do it. Go and do it. Live that energy, enjoy that energy without having to have that thing. Right? For some of you, might be the mansion, or might be, a house in the woods. Just talking about houses. For others, it might be millions of dollars. For somebody else, it might be just having a child, right?
Right.
So we all have our own things, big or small. Small things can feel really big. And great reminder, thank you, little book of
Yeah.
miracle. But that is a really great point to manifesting as well.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it too much. Don't brag about it too much. Experience it, feel it, unless you really want to, right? You take this knowledge, this education, this wisdom that we're sharing with you, and use it however you want, right?
Yeah. I agree with you. And I'm glad you mentioned that book mentioned that about manifesting, because it's like for me, when I manifest things, I don't talk about it till after. It's in view, you know, it's there, it's right there in front of me, it's tangible, it happened because of that, you know, of that. Once you say something, it's like your mind already is like, oh, I already did that, so I don't got to do it anymore. And it's like you didn't even do any work for it, so how, what? You know, so there's things that I manifest today that I'm not mentioning to anyone, because it's you know, it's that's the beautiful thing about manifesting. It's for the individual. It's your stuff. It's not meant for someone else. It's meant for you. So why do you got to go tell people? You don't have to. You just let it be you. Let it be in you. And if you feel the calling to do it, I mean, yeah, do it. Listen to your intuition. But it's man, I'm really glad you mentioned that. Yeah.
And the next part is also, this is one of my favorite parts. This is manifesting magic. So it's kind of like a recipe that tells you what to do to manifest. Because this card is really just a recipe. I'm gonna start using the word recipe for everything, because every single thing, this whole entire video is a recipe.
Exactly.
Right. And manifesting recipes, there are a ton of them out there, and find the one that works for you. And from this whole entire video, there might be just one little part that works for you, that helps you. Might be the whole thing. You are your own chef. Pick what ingredients you want to put in your recipe. That's it, right?
Beautiful.
So the next part in here is says manifesting magic. These crystals work especially well for the sign of Scorpio. Gross, I can't pronounce these words, but I'm gonna do my best and pronounce them. And please, those of you that know how these crystals are actually spelled, put them down below. Actually, I might put it down below as well, just in case, or maybe even a picture of this 2 pages of a reading. But here are the crystals: gros solar, garnet,
Okay.
pyrite or pyrite, peridot, lepidolite, azurite, or black obsidian. That one I know how to pronounce. I have that one. I have a black obsidian. Those of you that want to see like a little image or video of it up closer, check my social media. I'm sure you'll be able to find it pretty easily. But this is black obsidian stones that I have. Oh, shit, I almost dropped it on my laptop. Black obsidians at the bottom. And then choose one and hold it while you meditate. Now, don't go out and buy all the stones. Choose one, because real stones, they'll be pricey, they'll be expensive, and that's why when you go to the shop, choose the one that feels right, and that's the one that you get. If you want to get more, go ahead, get more. The choice is yours. But here it says choose one and hold it while you meditate, visualizing luminous aquamarine light swirling around you. Alternatively, keep your crystal close by as you work through your situation, or use 5 or 6 to make a crystal grid. And your manifestation affirmation. So each one comes with affirmation. This is a great deck, by the way.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I feel like some people will be running out to buy it. Go ahead. Amazon, I got it from Indigo in the actual store. I'm sure you'll find it Indigo online. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find it. I know the question will be like, how much was it? $21.99 US and $28.99 Canadian.
Okay.
And that's the back of it. And the inside of it and the front, how the front looks. 1 second, let me give the code to my offspring for his game.
Hello.
He's always shirtless, so it's normal.
Always sweats.
Yeah, he's warm-blooded. He's like his daddy. So your manifestation affirmation. I know that dramas now are healing crises. I'm going to read it again. I know that dramas now are healing crises. So the drama that we're experiencing right now, the suffering, the pain, whatever we're going through, the turmoil that we're going through, are healing crises. So you're
that
through it.
Yeah, that like, oh man, it's a synchronicity for me. Like as soon as you said it, it was like, wait, what? And then you said it again. I was like, oh my goodness, yes.
That's why it's more than once and slowly, and that's why sometimes I like to add my my own understanding to it, and at the same time ask, what does that mean to you? How does that come across to you? How do you get it? Right? How do you internalize it? Does it make sense? All of these questions just for this one phrase, because this one phrase means different things to different people, and in different times of their life it means different things. I was talking about this on the video that I was doing, how this one quote can mean different things to different people, and it really like fired me up when I had this conversation with my husband, and how he was just like, no, the wall just, I felt the wall go, and and I was just like fuming. Oh my God. And because the moment that I feel the wall, I'm like, I let it go. I let it go in the way of, there's no point of me trying to prove anything, and at the same time it's a reminder that here's my ego trying to win, and I'm not here to win, because the wall is there. Nothing is going to get through it, and the only thing that can come out of that more often than not is nothing really good can come out of that, right? It could be an argument and hurt feelings. So for me, and that's why we didn't continue that discussion. And I know if we continued, he would have understood my side, but it wasn't about sides. It's not his time. He wasn't ready, so that's fine. The wall went up. He'll get it when he's ready, and then he'll come to me with that knowledge, and then I will think and not say that, I'm pretty sure I told you that, and this video will be the evidence of that. So
right.
But that, whatever the quote is, yes, it does come with a meaning from the person that wrote it, but that is not the only meaning that it has. That is not the only interpretation that it has. It has multiple. As many as there are people on this planet, that's as many as interpretations and translations as it could have, and meanings that it could have. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah. The last part of this book is the part that I was referring to, that I don't particularly understand, nor am I fully ready to dive into that world. But everything that we've said so far, and those of you that understand this language, of the planets and what do you call them? The astrological signs, astrology, and the planets and the moon. If you understand this language, please help a sister out and put down below, and you can attach your interpretation, your thoughts. You can make it as long as you want it. There's no limit to how much you can share, of helping everyone to embody this and understand this, right? So and this is all, I believe, in divine timing. So whenever you see this video, that's when you're meant to, whether you watch the whole thing or not. So this is the part, when to manifest your magic. This is the timing, okay? The best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Scorpio on a Tuesday, Mars's day, or during Mars's hour. The last quarter moon in Scorpio takes place when the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is in Scorpio. It knows that friction is what makes the pearl. So again, these timings, what I've just read, it's like one of those things that I read and I don't even hear it because I don't understand it. It's like a puzzle, or in a maze. That's why I said muzzle and puzzle together, puzzle and a maze together. So I'll read again, quicker this time. The best time to work your magic is when the moon is in Scorpio on a Tuesday, Mars's day, or during Mars's hour. The last quarter moon in Scorpio takes place when the sun is in Aquarius and the moon is in Scorpio. It knows that friction is what makes the pearl. So that's it.
Yeah, that was wonderful. It definitely aligned with me 100% with what I've been going through, working on, growing through, expanding from. Like it was it was that synchronicity that the universe was like, hey, look at this.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that.
Thank you. And I feel like this card was perfect also for me in a line, and a lot of synchronicities, a lot of reminders, things that I've like uncovered, realized, and then boom, here's a confirmation for that. And then on top of it, going forward, a great reminder to keep more things to myself that I the goals, the dreams.
Yeah.
Yes, they're great to talk about. But at the same time, there is talking about them and sharing them in a way of, what I'm doing type of a thing, and also sharing them as feeling that excitement, as if I already have it now, which is great, but it takes away the energy from actually doing it. And for those of us that are building a business online, that's a great example, because initially when we come up with the business idea, so excited, so fired up, telling everyone, and then waking up the next day and it's like, it's not here. What do you mean? I just had it yesterday. I just had it, because it feels like you already have it, right? And then waking up the next day and not having it, and forgetting that you got to continue what you did the day before, do it again and again and again. So for some of you, it might be sharing this dream constantly with everyone, and that is one of your tools of how you can manifest. For the rest of us, it's doing it yourself every single day and reminding yourself. And that's why laser focus on this one thing every single day, and showing up for yourself and for that goal, for that dream. Yeah, that's it. I feel like it's almost impossible to put our knowledge and our wisdom and our experiences and everything into 30 minutes of a podcast. So it always ends up being either an hour or an hour and a half. As I feel like that's what they're meant to be. Yeah. But we'll still keep it shorter. Maybe the future, we'll see. But then again, no limits.
We kind of just go with the flow, and with this topic that you chose, it just was really aligning with a lot of stuff, and it's just beautiful. So I just was like, let's just go with the flow. Like if it's not 30 minutes, so be it. Because sometimes it takes a little bit longer to fully express yourself and to fully come up with the the thoughts, you know, to share, you know, you get that little tidbit, and then it's like, oh, but then there's also this, and you know, so it's go with the flow, see what comes up.
Yeah, and there's always a lot that comes up and comes out, that it's like we have no script.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we have no script, and it just comes out and comes through. And I've always been a believer, and these days even more so, that everything happens for a reason. Everything that we is in our field is there for a reason, and that whether we believe it or not, we are ready for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah. Anyways, that is all for today. Thank you.
Right.
Can I wrap it up first before we hop onto you? Okay. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Bethany, and until next week,
Yep.
or whatever the next topic is going to be. It's
Yeah.
as always going to be a powerful one.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'm glad I was feeling up to it, because at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I can do this today, but it really just has helped fire me up. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that with me. And those of you that have found value and benefit in this video, please share with somebody else that you might personally know who can benefit from it, or maybe all of your viewers or all of your followers that you have, right, on your socials. And I would truly appreciate that help and that support. And make sure you leave an emoji, or like a, what is it called, like a feeling on the video, on whatever platform you're on, that you like it. I don't particularly like the thumbs up, but I know some platforms, they only give the thumbs up. Like YouTube, it's only like or not like. But on like Facebook, I always go for the next ones, or actual options, instead of just simple thumbs up. So give me one of those on the Facebooks. Different pages. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe, because we have these videos coming on, uploaded every single week, and every week it's a new topic or a new approach to the topic. So good. Thank you, Bethany, and until next time.
Bye.
Much love.
Sending you all love. Have a good one.